Aside from the financial implications, extra gate money, etc., what kind of a difference does 3,000 fans make compared to 1,500 fans when you're preparing a team and you're in the dugout and they're out there on the pitch?
Well, it enthuses the players more, but more importantly for me, I think sometimes they can have the edge on what a referee decides to do when he has a 50-50 call. And we've been on the wrong end of quite a few, haven't we, from home?
We've seen it a lot of times in the conference. I mean, for example, in a couple of weeks you play Morecambe on a Tuesday night, and in the season you won the conference, there were over 3,000.
3,300. That was live on TV.
The fan base is there, then the people who are interested are there and have been there.
Well, they have been there, yeah.
They're out there, aren't they? And that's what this is, you know, the whole community of Accrington and the surrounding areas, to be aware what our intentions are and where we want to go, and just to jog everyone's memory, really. You know, and we'll do anything and everything we can as a playing squad, as staff, to do that. You know, as John said and Rob, going into businesses, schools, whatever it takes, but to jog everyone's memory what we really want.
It's awful. It's drawing a line under some of the negative stories that you mentioned. It's all about it's about what goes on at the football club. We've got a really good team of staff behind the scenes who do a fantastic job. We've got a good bunch of lads on the pitch now as well who the league table proves that they're doing a fantastic job. So it's about putting all the negative stuff to one side and saying, you know, obviously it's there, but let's forget about that. Let's look about what's positive at Accrington Stanley. Let's, especially particularly the community lads, they're Accrington's best kept secret at the moment. The work they do going into schools and after school clubs and dance sessions, and they probably over the course of 12 months have contact with every child in Hyndman. Now I don't think we're exploiting that enough, and getting those kids excited about Accrington Stanley. They're the next generation of Accrington Stanley. So it's things like that we're looking to really push under the banner of Back the Boys as well.
Do you think it's all that negative stuff that's the main reason behind the gate numbers?
I don't think it helps. I think I think people have been a little bit disappointed. It goes back to, I mean, we want everybody to be proud of Accrington Stanley. It's still got that kind of jokey connotation, but we want people to say, hey, hold on a minute, no, that's my hometown club. I'm very proud of Accrington Stanley. They've been in Football League for 5 years. Maybe there's a promotion at the end of this season, whatever. But let's shout about everything that's good about Accrington Stanley. The community is one of it, and things do keep moving forward. I think sometimes people enjoy looking at the negative side of things, but let's just point out what we are doing right. You look at the shop now; it's fantastic. The transformation in 12 months. We are moving forward. We've got the CRM system that keeps all our details of all our supporters. We've had that in place now for the best part of this season. We are moving forward as a club, and it's very easy to look at all the negative side of things, but it's about us now shouting out what we're doing well as well.
Do you think people still maybe think that you are a team that are struggling to stay in the Football League when you're not?
Well, if you look at the last 5 years, I don't think there's ever been a danger really, possibly the first season. But you know, I think if you speak to anybody in League Two, about any other manager in the League Two, who do you think the better teams are? I think we'd always come up in anyone's shortlist.
I suppose it's a goal for you as well. I mean, having improved on your league position every time, you want that next step, I suppose.
Well, you know, if it goes according to plan, in 14 years we'll win the league.
Is it fair to say that the biggest asset this club's got is the fact that it's a family, everybody's approachable, you can come in here after the game and speak to the manager, assistant manager, speak to the players, and if that is the biggest asset, is the club playing on it enough?
Well, I think the biggest asset's the name, isn't it? You know, as a brand, it's a very instantly recognisable name throughout the country and arguably throughout the world. So, you know, while you can say that, okay, well, not always for the right reasons and possibly sometimes satirical, but it's still a brand, it's still a name, a recognisable name. And I'm sure, you know, there's some, the Forest Greens of this world would kill for that.
No, and I think you're right about the family side of Accrington Stanley, though. It really frustrates me when somebody hints that we're not approachable or they haven't been able to get an answer from the club. I don't think there's any other football league club where you could directly after a game speak to the manager. I'm always in the office. You can ring me, I take phone calls. You can literally walk in the door, can I speak to Rob, and I'll talk to anyone. And I don't think there's any football league club really where you could have that kind of access. So when anybody says, I think we've got to really emphasise that family aspect, because there is a bit of a wall that's been built, perhaps again with the problems that have gone on over the years. And that's what tonight's all about, the fans forum really. We've got virtually every employee who's going to be here. Hopefully we'll get a lot of fans in as well, and it's just an opportunity for people to talk to the people behind the scenes, and people can throw ideas at us. We like to be seen as a friendly and approachable club, and hopefully we can just break down a few perceived barriers by events like what we're doing tonight.
With that in mind, might be a bit of a thorny one, but with that in mind, is it important to make a distinction between those of you that are at this table that are here working every day, whether it's training or whether it's working on things behind the scenes, and those that are arguing, wrangling over who's going to own the club, because there's nothing any of you can do about that?
No, that's the really good point, is that, Dan. I think that's probably something that'll probably come out with the campaign. Obviously the ownership issues are still ongoing, and there's individuals concerned with that. We can't sit around at the club waiting for that to be sorted out. We've got to be proactive. We're full of ideas. We've got lots of good ideas, and we've got to start carrying them out and putting things into practice. And the ownership issues and everything at board level will resolve itself at some point, and hopefully when that happens, we'll have been seen to be carrying on and doing a good job, and Accrington Stanley can progress in spite of all those problems.
I think it's quite easy to sit back and pick holes at our club's run. And you know, I could sit back and pick holes at our government's running the country. It doesn't mean I could go in to number 10 tomorrow and make a difference, because I wouldn't have a clue what I was doing. And I think the big misconception that a lot of, possibly our supporters as well, but a lot of people who are opinionated on the subject of the ownership, I don't think they fully understand how much it costs to run a football league club. And I think that's the bit that they never ever grasp the reality of it. And how a lot of the time you are struggling hand to mouth on a weekly basis, and I think people don't grasp the severity of that, and arguably they might never grasp it.
If you get asked about that tonight by the fans, what would you say?
But it cost a lot of money. But they've got to appreciate that. You know, it's easy to pick holes in how our clubs run, and they should be doing this, they should be doing that, they should be doing this. But it's difficult to get anything off the ground in football league level. It's difficult to generate income in a climate that we're in at the moment. And unfortunately, if the town wants a league club, it's going to cost money. Now, people just don't come and give you money for being a football league club. Arguably, we did the hard part winning the conference, and now we've got the harder part of trying to sustain it, and possibly not through the playing staff, but just possibly by the finances. You know, continuing having to upgrade the ground, you know, things like tannoy systems and police control rooms and ticketing systems and ground regulations. You know, it has to come from somewhere, and unless you've been walking around with your eyes shut for the last 5 years, our gates have been going downwards. I think possibly a little bit of an upturn in the last 18 months. But if you want something and you want it badly enough, you'll make it happen, and that's what people are trying to do here.